Welcome to quiz time. I'm your quiz master, Sean, and I've got 100 questions for you. General knowledge, art, science, history, geography, pop, art, you name it. It's going to keep our brains young, and we're going to have fun. So let's begin with question number 1. What luxury passenger train, operating since 1883, connected Paris and Istanbul, inspiring books and films? The Flying Scotsman, the Orient Express, or the Blue Train? And that would be the Orient Express. In 1972, the first digital watch with a red LED display, a precursor to modern smartwatches, was named. Was it the Casio F91W, the Pulsar, or Timex Ironman? That was the Pulsar. Which 1960s fashion trend, named after a British cultural phenomenon, involved wearing brightly colored suits and bold patterns? The teddy boy, mod, or hippie? And that was mod. Which U.S. president, famous for the New Deal, served 4 terms during the Great Depression and World War II? Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, or Dwight D. Eisenhower? And that president was Franklin D. Roosevelt. Which 1950s beauty pageant winner became famous for starring in films like The 7-Year Itch and Some Like It Hot? Was it Grace Kelly, Jane Mansfield, or Marilyn Monroe? And that was Marilyn Monroe. Which current technology, used to create digital currencies like Bitcoin, is based on a decentralized ledger system known as blockchain? Is that artificial intelligence, quantum computing, or cryptocurrency? And that would be cryptocurrency. Which major sporting event in 2024 was notable for having more women's events than men's for the first time in history? The Paris Olympics, the FIFA World Cup, or the Wimbledon Championships? And that was the Paris Olympics. In 2024, which ancient site revealed a hidden chamber that completely changed historians' understanding of ancient civilizations? The Pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, or the Colosseum in Rome? And that was the Pyramids of Giza. Which major retailer, originally started as an online bookstore in 1994, has grown to dominate e-commerce and cloud computing? eBay, Amazon, or Alibaba? And that would be Amazon. What 1980s home computer with color graphics and sound was among the top sellers? The Commodore 64A Apple 111 BM PC, approximately 5 million, approximately 7 million. That would be the Commodore 64 Apple 3 BM PC. What political movement, ignited by George Floyd's death in 2020, centered on U.S. racial justice and police reform? Black Lives Matter, Occupy Wall Street, or the Me Too movement? And that would be Black Lives Matter. Which international sporting event, postponed for the first time in its history due to a global pandemic, eventually occurred in 2021? The FIFA World Cup, Wimbledon, or the Tokyo Olympics? And that would be the Tokyo Olympics. Which famous billionaire bought Twitter in 2022, known for its electric car company and space exploration dreams? Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or Richard Branson? And that would be Elon Musk. Which famous American racehorse won the Triple Crown in 1973, setting records in all 3 races that still stand today? Man o' War, Secretariat, or Seabiscuit? That would be Secretariat. Which British boxer became a global icon after defeating Sonny Liston in 1964 and later changed his name to Muhammad Ali? Henry Cooper, Joe Frazier, or Cassius Clay? And that would be Cassius Clay. What ancient structure in Greece was a giant statue of the sun god Helios and one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world? The Colossus of Rhodes, the Great Pyramid of Giza, or the statue of Zeus at Olympia? And that would be the Colossus of Rhodes. In the 1950s, which movie star from Rebel Without a Cause and Giant became a cultural icon with a brief career? James Dean, Marlon Brando, or Montgomery Clift? That would be James Dean. Which battle, fought during the American Civil War, was the deadliest single-day battle in U.S. history, with over 23,000 casualties? The Battle of Gettysburg, the Battle of Antietam, or the Battle of Bull Run? And that would be the Battle of Antietam. Which auto, nicknamed the People's Car, was ordered by Hitler, designed by Porsche, and became highly produced in the 1930s? The Volkswagen Beetle, the Fiat 500, or the Citroën 2CV? That would be the Volkswagen Beetle. Which U.S. airline, with a glamorous image and global roots, introduced jet service in the 1950s and stopped operations in 1991? TWA, Trans World Airlines, Pan Am, Pan American World Airways, or Eastern Airlines? Pan Am, Pan American World Airways. In the 1940s, which camera allowed users to print and develop photos at parties and events instantaneously? Was it Polaroid? Was it the Kodak Instamatic, or was it the Canon AE-1? That would be Polaroid. What was the name of Sony's 1979 portable cassette player that transformed music listening on the move? Discman, Walkman, or Boombox? And that would be the Sony Walkman. Which fashion trend of the 1970s involved wearing pants that were tight at the knees and flared out dramatically at the bottom? Were those bell bottoms? Were they parachute pants? Or were they skinny jeans? Those were bell bottoms. Which famous battle on June 6, 1944, known as D-Day, started the Allied invasion of Nazi-occupied Europe? The Battle of the Bulge, Normandy, or the Battle of Britain? And that was the Normandy invasion. In 1969, what iconic American event symbolized the counterculture movement with Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin performances? The Monterey Pop Festival, Woodstock, or the Altamont Free Concert? And that would be Woodstock. What is the British landmark, completed in 1894, that spans the River Thames near the Tower of London? Is it the London Bridge, the Tower Bridge, or Westminster Bridge? And that would be the Tower Bridge. Which Bavarian castle, commissioned by King Ludwig II, inspired Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty Castle? Neuschwanstein Castle, Hohenzollern Castle, or Lindorf Palace? And that would be Neuschwanstein Castle. Which American football team won the first Super Bowl in 1967, defeating the Kansas City Chiefs and cementing their legacy in NFL history? Was it the Dallas Cowboys? Was it the Green Bay Packers? Or was it the New York Giants? It was the Green Bay Packers. Go Pack, go. Which U.S. city, famed for tech innovation, houses Silicon Valley and experienced a technology sector surge in recent decades? New York City, San Francisco, or Los Angeles? And that would be San Francisco. Launched in 2007, what streaming service revolutionized the way people watch television and movies, popularizing binge watching? Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime Video? And that would be Netflix. Which city holds the title for having the most bridges, surpassing even Venice, and has over 2,300 of them? Amsterdam, New York City, or Hamburg? And that city with all the bridges is Hamburg. Which country's cuisine features kimchi, a spicy fermented vegetable dish with various ingredients? Thailand, Japan, or Korea? Kimchi is a Korean dish. Which crucial 20th century naval battle in the Pacific Theater was a pivotal turning point in World War II? Was it the Battle of Midway? Was it the Battle of Coral Sea? Or was it the Battle of the Philippine Sea? That was the Battle of Midway. In 2011, what natural disaster in Japan caused a nuclear meltdown and significant environmental damage? An earthquake, a tsunami, or a volcanic eruption? And that would be an earthquake. What 1920s artifact, inscribed with 3 languages, helped decode ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs? The Rosetta Stone, the Dead Sea Scrolls, or the Behushtan inscription? And that would be the Rosetta Stone. Which popular TV show with space-faring robots influenced sci-fi series with its imaginative concept and humor? Was it Star Trek? Was it Lost in Space? Or was it The Jetsons? That was The Jetsons. What 19th century event, marked by a key civil rights speech from Martin Luther King Jr., was a major turning point? The March on Washington, the Montgomery bus boycott, or the Civil Rights Act? And that was the March on Washington. Who became the first emperor of France and was later exiled to Elba for his military and political prowess? Louis XIV, Napoleon Bonaparte, or Charles de Gaulle? That was Napoleon Bonaparte. Which physicist linked to relativity theory helped develop the atomic bomb and sports distinctive hair? Isaac Newton, Niels Bohr, or Albert Einstein? And that would be Albert Einstein, sporting the distinctive hair. Which annual Spanish cultural festival involves running with bulls in the streets, ending in a traditional fiesta? La Tomatina, San Fermin, or Feria de Abril? And that would be San Fermin. Which famous chef, known for TV shows like Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef, is renowned for his cookbooks? Gordon Ramsay, Jamie Oliver, or Emeril Lagasse? And that would be Gordon Ramsay. Who was the longest reigning English monarch before Queen Elizabeth II in the 19th century? Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth I, or Queen Anne? And that would be Queen Victoria. Which famous explorer is credited with leading the first expedition to circumnavigate the globe, although he was killed during the journey? Vasco da Gama, Ferdinand Magellan, or Christopher Columbus? And that was Ferdinand Magellan. Which legendary creature from Japanese folklore is said to be a shape-shifting fox with magical abilities? Is it the Kappa, is it the Kitsune, or is it the Tengu? We're talking about the Kappa. Which famous Spanish artist with a scissor-like mustache created The Persistence of Memory? Was that Pablo Picasso? Was it Salvador Dali? Or Joan Miro? And that would be Salvador Dali. I am taken from a mine and shut up in a wooden case from which I am never released, and yet I am something used by almost every person. What am I? A pencil, a diamond, or a charcoal? I am a pencil. Which 90s technology, favored by teens, enabled short-range wireless communication to exchange phone numbers and pictures? Is it Bluetooth, infrared, or NFC? And that is infrared. Which 1959 British car symbolized 1960s pop culture with its compact size and distinctive design? Austin Mini, Ford Anglia, or Morris Minor? And that would be Austin Mini. In 1927, who was the first person to solo pilot the Spirit of St. Louis across the Atlantic non-stop? Amelia Earhart, Howard Hughes, or Charles Lindbergh? And that was Charles Lindbergh. In the 1950s, Groucho Marx hosted which TV show with a game where contestants won money by saying the secret word? Was it What's My Line? Was it You Bet Your Life? Or was it the $64,000 question? It was You Bet Your Life. Which U.S. president once received a speeding ticket while riding a horse and still refused to apologize to the officer? Was it Abraham Lincoln? Was it Ulysses S. Grant? Or was it Theodore Roosevelt? It was U.S. Grant. In this Asian country, it's illegal to own a car unless you have a parking space to put it. Which country is it? Japan, South Korea, or China? And that country is Japan. Which 1960s beauty product was marketed as a way to achieve the California look, but led to some unexpected hair disasters? Sun-In, Aquanet, or Breck shampoo? And that would be Sun-In. Which 1970s TV show, set in the future, ironically featured technology that was already outdated by the time it aired? Space 1999, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, or The $6 Million Man? And that was Space 1999. Which 1950s household item was so futuristic it was once displayed at the World's Fair as a marvel of modern engineering? The electric toothbrush, the microwave oven, or the automatic dishwasher? And that was the microwave oven. Which famous battle was won by a mistake in the signal flags that changed the course of the British Empire in the early 19th century? The Battle of Waterloo, the Battle of Trafalgar, or the Battle of Hastings? And that would be the Battle of Trafalgar. This fruit, once considered a symbol of wealth in the 18th century, was so rare that it was rented out for display at dinner parties. Which fruit was it? The pineapple, the mango, or the kiwi? And that was the pineapple. When and where did the first internet cafe in history open? People weren't sure if the idea would catch on because it was so novel. 1989 New York, 1994 London, or 1996 Tokyo? It was 1994 London. Which 19th century invention was initially rejected because it was thought to be a hoax, but is now found in nearly every home? The telephone, the light bulb, or the vacuum cleaner? The telephone. It's no hoax. Which household pet was considered sacred by an ancient civilization to the point that harming one could lead to death? Dogs in ancient Rome, cats in ancient Egypt, or parrots in ancient India? Cats in ancient Egypt. Which 50s car model, initially impractical, gained collector status due to its unique design? The Chevrolet Corvette, the Ford Mustang, or the Cadillac Eldorado? The Chevrolet Corvette, so impractical. Still around. Which 20th century technological advancement, initially developed for space exploration, has become a critical part of everyday life? The GPS system, the internet, or the satellite TV? And that would be the GPS system. Which holiday, now widely celebrated, was originally intended to be a one-off event to honor the end of a specific war? Armistice Day, Thanksgiving, or Labor Day? And that day would be Armistice Day. Which iconic British band originally formed under a different name before becoming world famous, and what was that name? The Rolling Stones, the Blue Boys, the Beatles, the Quarrymen, or the Who, the Detours? The Beatles, originally the Quarrymen. Which 1960s snack food was marketed with the slogan, "Bet you can't eat just one," leading to a national obsession? Pringles, Lay's potato chips, or Doritos? You can't eat just one. Lay's potato chips. In which country was the world's first ice cream sundae created? But the twist is, it was invented as a way to avoid a soda tax. France, USA, or Italy? It was the USA. Which 1960s vehicle is the ultimate flying car, designed to be both an airplane and a car before becoming a reality? The Aerocar, the Terrafugia Transition, or the Aerocar 160? And that would be the Aerocar. Which historical figure's diary, published under a pseudonym, brought unexpected fame and literary success? Anne Frank, Cleopatra, or Marie Curie? And that would be the Diary of Anne Frank. The tradition of elaborate tea ceremonies, integral to social life and culture, evolved in which country? India, Japan, or China? And that would be Japan. What 1970s sitcom used a laugh track to amplify its comedy with a distinctive format and guest stars, becoming a classic example? Cheers, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, or Happy Days? And that was Happy Days. What TV series starred Michael Knight with a futuristic vehicle named KITT, possessing advanced technology and AI? Knight Rider, Magnum PI, or the A-Team? And that was Knight Rider. Which fermented fish dish, an acquired taste popular in Scandinavia, is enjoyed on special occasions? Gravlax, herring, or surströmming? And that would be surströmming. What is the unusual summer phenomenon in Scandinavia that keeps the sun visible at midnight, resulting in the midnight sun? The polar day, eternal daylight, or George Polar Night? And that would be the polar day. Which historic Belgian brew, esteemed for its intricate taste, is sipped from ornate chalices at ceremonial events? Trappist beer, mead, or lambic? And that would be Trappist beer. Which 1980s drama, featuring wealthy families and intense storylines, gained fame for its lavish settings? Dallas, Dynasty, or Knots Landing? And that would be Dynasty. What ancient civilization built Chichen Itza, known for its advanced math and astronomy? Maya, Aztec, or Inca? And that would be the Mayan civilization. Which mysterious historical figure left cryptic writings and maps about a hidden ancient city? Hiram Abif, Percy Fawcett, or John Dee? And that would be Percy Fawcett. Who is a physicist famous for quantum mechanics thought experiments with a cat in a box? Max Planck, Niels Bohr, or Erwin Schrödinger? That would be Schrödinger's cat. Named the 1939 classic American film that follows a young girl named Dorothy on her journey through a magical land, aided by her friends, to return home. The Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, or Casablanca? That would be The Wizard of Oz. What event, linked to the shot heard around the world, started the American Revolutionary War? The Boston Tea Party, the Lexington and Concord battles, or the Declaration of Independence? And that would be the Lexington and Concord battles. What is the name of the phenomenon where the moon passes between the Earth and Sun, obscuring the sun's light? Is that a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse, or is it the blood moon? And that would be a solar eclipse. Which ancient Greek philosopher, known for his method of questioning, was sentenced to death by drinking poison in 399 BC? Plato, Socrates, or Aristotle? That would be Socrates. What ancient structure from the 3rd century BC is a wonder of the ancient world in Babylon? The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Colossus of Rhodes, or the statue of Zeus at Olympia? And that would be the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. If you have me, you want to share me. And if you share me, you haven't got me. What am I? A gift? A cold? Or a secret? That is a secret. What starts with a P, ends with an E, and also has thousands of letters? A post office, a puzzle, or a poem? That's a post office. Which tropical fruit has an enzyme that can be used as a meat tenderizer and also break down gelatin, preventing it from setting? Pineapple, papaya, or mango? That would be pineapple. Can't use it in Jell-O. Which Southeast Asian fruit, banned from many places due to its strong smell, is called the king of fruits? Durian, jackfruit, or rambutan? The king of fruits, that is durian. Which toy, first introduced in 1959, became a fashion icon with a dream house and a pink convertible, inspiring countless collections? Is that Barbie, Polly Pocket, or the Cabbage Patch Kids? And that would be Barbie. What was the popular name for the short, cropped hairstyle worn by flappers in the 1920s, symbolizing the era's rebellious spirit? Was it the beehive? Was it the bob? Or was it the pompadour? And that would be the bob. Name the first home video game console, released in 1972, featuring Pong and table tennis. Was that the Atari 2600? Was it the Magnavox Odyssey? Or was it the Nintendo Entertainment System? And that was the Magnavox Odyssey. What was the 1960s sweet treat with a sugary liquid in a wax bottle that children chewed? Was that a Pixie Sticks? Was it Nick L. Nip? Or was it Pop Rocks? That was Nick L. Nip. Which 1960s spacecraft was the first to carry humans around the moon, paving the way for the Apollo 2 moon landing? The Apollo 8, the Gemini 4, or the Mercury Atlas 6? That was the Apollo 8. Which type of bicycle, popular in the 1970s, featured high-rise handlebars, a banana seat, and a sissy bar, becoming a favorite among children? BMX, Chopper, or the Schwinn Stingray? And that was the Schwinn Stingray. Which British Prime Minister, famous for his Iron Curtain speech during World War II, later warned about Soviet expansion dangers? Was that Neville Chamberlain? Was it Clement Attlee? Or was it Winston Churchill? And that was Winston Churchill. Which U.S. civil rights leader, famous for his I Have a Dream speech, was assassinated in 1968, leading to widespread protests and mourning? Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., or Medgar Evers? And that was Martin Luther King Jr. Name the popular radio show that featured a mysterious narrator fighting crime with mind-clouding abilities before being adopted into a TV series. Was it The Lone Ranger? Was it The Shadow? Or was it Dragnet? It was The Shadow. The Shadow knows. Which 1967 U.S. Supreme Court case voided interracial marriage bans, a key win for civil rights? Brown versus the Board of Education, Loving versus Virginia, or Roe v. Wade? And that was Loving versus Virginia. Which iconic 1960s hairstyle, often associated with African American pride and culture, became a symbol of the Black Power movement? The beehive, the afro, or the bouffant? That was the afro. Which iconic American bridge, finished in 1937, crosses the Golden Gate Strait, showcasing an Art Deco style and vibrant orange hue? The Hoover Dam, the Golden Gate Bridge, or the Brooklyn Bridge? That would be the Golden Gate Bridge. And now question 100. What iconic Seattle structure from the 1960s, constructed for the World's Fair, symbolizes the city with its revolving restaurant on top? Is it the Space Needle? Is it the CN Tower? Or is it the Transamerica Pyramid? That would be the Space Needle in Seattle. And that was question 100. Thank you for playing Quiz Time. Drop your score in the comments, please, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss Quiz Time when it comes out. And Quiz Time comes out very often. Thanks for playing, and I'll catch you in the next one.